It is no secret that I absolutely love crafting with Dollar Tree tumbling tower blocks. They're great as a game, but they are so fun to craft with. They come 72 in a pack in a dark and light tones, and I love keeping them in a basket because it's just easy to contain and just grab from there. For this craft, we are going to pair the blocks along with one of these canvases from Dollar Tree. They have them in different sizes and even thickness. We're going to take one of the flat, thin ones, and we are just going to use it. Now, I contemplated leaving it in white, but I decided to paint it in this nice, soft beige by Waverly. We're just going to give it one coat, and then, of course, we're going to let it fully dry. Now, the canvases have that nice texture that can sometimes look like fabric, so I'm going to do something different with this one. I'm going to take white paint, and I'm going to dry brush in different directions. This is going to make that texture really pop and look like fabric. I love the way it turned out. I'm going to use these rub-on transfers from Essential Stencils. I'm going to have their link down below in the description box. This is something I got several years ago, and I haven't used it yet. It's perfect for spring and summer. Beautiful designs. I'm just going to cut up this cage right here and several other designs. And if you've never worked with rub-on transfers, they're easy to work with and actually quite fun. You just peel the back like a sticker and then place it wherever you want. And then you just want to scrape it on or basically rub it on. The design does get a little gray as you're rubbing it, so I like to pull the plastic cover as I am rubbing it. That way I know exactly where I need to press a little harder or maybe rub again. I'm going to keep adding different things like the birds and the trees as well as butterflies just to fill in the canvas. Now, you can leave it just like this, but I am going to use the darker tumbling tower blocks to create a frame around the picture. I'm just going to use hot glue, which is plenty sufficient, and I'm also going to use my miter shears as needed to cut. So basically, wherever I need to make a cut, I'm just going to mark and then use my miter shears, which I do have in my Amazon store if you want to check it out. It is linked down below. It cuts through them really easily, and then we're just going to keep adding until the entire frame is done. This craft is such a nature-inspired craft that I want to use some of this greenery in the bottom left corner. So I'm just going to hot glue a little branch going upwards and then another one going sideways. This is just going to add a little bit more texture and just kind of bring everything together. And then I'm going to add one of these flowers right there in the center. Now you can add anything to the back to be able to hang it, but this time I want to add some blocks to the back. This is just going to allow it to stand and kind of lean almost like a picture frame. And that's it. What a fun craft, and it's so easy. You can also use any stencil you want or even a calendar page from Dollar Tree. But what do you think? Let me know down in the comments. For this next Dollar Tree DIY craft, I'm going to take this wooden round from Dollar Tree and I'm just going to remove everything from it, including the little beads and the jute string that it has. And then I'm going to sand down the surface. Now, I have done this many times where I just use my electric sander, just sand down the surface, roughen it up, removing the sheen, and it works really well. I just dust it really well and then paint over it. Now, for some reason, it was not working for this one. But I wanted to leave the process so you can see that sometimes it just doesn't work, and that's okay. It started to bubble up on me. So with the wet paint, I just decided to remove anything that was bubbling up and then making sure that it's nice and flat and smooth and then paint it again. And I'm just going to give it a couple of coats until it's nice and covered. And then, of course, we want to put it to the side to dry. And then, of course, once dry, I am going to pair with some tumbling tower blocks. This time, we're going to go with the light color ones. And I'm just going to start framing it all around. Now, of course, the blocks have that straight edge where the round is round, but that's okay. That adds so much character to it. I'm just going to do 3 layers. So I'm going to do this first one, and then I'm going to just alternate brick style upwards until I have 3 layers, and just adding a little bit of hot glue goes a long way. This is looking so cute. Okay, so I'm going to line the bottom with this nautical rope from Dollar Tree. You don't have to do this. You can also use ribbon if you want, or even the natural tone rope. I'm just going to add hot glue, wrap it all around, and then cut it in the back, joining both ends together. Now I'm going to take this battery operated candle from Dollar Tree. You just click the little button there and it lights up. It's so cute and safe. And then to add some greenery and just natural touches to it, I'm just going to add some of this faux boxwood that I get on Amazon. And just going to add a few little branches here and there just to kind of add that texture to it. But how adorable is this? You can keep this all year round and even change the greenery to more Christmassy during Christmas or fall. But what do you think? Let me know down in the comments. For this next Dollar Tree DIY craft, we are going to take 20 of these tumbling tower blocks in the light tone, but of course you can use any color depending on what color you want to paint them. I'm going to start joining 5 of them together and then joining 5 more together and then joining those together to create a block with 10 blocks. Adding a little bit hot glue, removing any excess that oozes out, and we're creating some coasters. I'm sure you've seen these before, but hopefully you get a new fresh idea. I'm going to do the same thing because I want to create 2 of them. And then just join them again together with hot glue. Now, because these are blocks, there are going to be a lot of edges and a lot of holes. So I'm just going to fill it in using some of this spackle from Dollar Tree. Just want to spread it and scrape off any excess. Put it to the side to dry. And then once dry, you just want to lightly sand it to remove any excess and make it nice and smooth. I decided to paint mine white, but of course, again, you can choose any color you want. And I just did 1 coat because I will be distressing these once dry. While these are drying, I'm going to use some more of those rub-on transfers, and I'm just going to cut 2 birds, 2 branches, and 2 butterflies. I want to keep them similar but different. Now that they are dry, I'm going to sand them down and distress them. Just going to remove a little bit of the paint so you can see that natural wood tone underneath. And then, of course, we want to wipe it really well because we want to make sure that the rub-on transfers are going to attach. All right, so once clean, I'm just going to start placing 1 bird, 1 butterfly, 1 branch on each of the coasters. Again, you just want to rub on and lift the plastic as you go. And I'm just speeding it up here for you, but it is so easy and so simple. And I'm going to do the same exact thing on the second coaster. I'm going to seal everything using this dishwasher safe Mod Podge. You can find these at Walmart or even Amazon. I'm just going to do 1 pretty heavy coat on top and on the sides to make sure that it's not going to be rubbed off or get too wet. All right, I am going to place some of these felt pads underneath. That way it's not going to scratch up any surface. And I'm going to take 2 of the larger ones and I'm going to cut them into 4 pieces. This is going to give me a nice squared edge, and then I can place them in the corner of each coaster. This is such a smart way to use these. I use these to my crafts all the time, and it just makes it so much better. I love these. Oh my word, they're so cute. You can make it a set of 4, 6, whatever you want. What do you think? Let me know down in the comments. For this next Dollar Tree DIY craft, we're going to start with some foam board. Dollar Tree carries these year-round in their school or office aisle. And I had this piece laying around and I thought, how can I use this? You know, as a crafter, we kind of keep these pieces laying around. You know what I mean? All right, I'm going to cut the shape of an L. So it's the first letter in my name, and I just figure I'm going to make me a craft this time. So I'm just going to use my X-Acto knife as well as my ruler to keep it nice and straight. And you can make this any size you want. It does not matter. I'm going to start lining and framing the L with the light colored tumbling tower blocks. And again, using my miter, shears as needed, and making cuts. That way it'll fit nice and flush. And I'm just going to frame the entire letter. I'm now going to take some of these pink roses from Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to cut off the stem as well as take off the leaves temporarily because we will be using the leaves here in just a minute. I'm going to add a little bit of hot glue, and because the foam board is foam, the little pick that is left behind or underneath the rose really works well with a little bit of hot glue. You just push it in, hold it just a bit until it hardens, and it works so well. And I'm going to do this until the entire thing is covered. All right, so now that everything is covered, I'm going to take some of the leafy greens and I'm just going to add a little bit of hot glue and I'm just going to push them in between some of the roses. This is just going to add a contrast, add a little pop of different color, and I actually think it looks way better with the leaves. Now, I didn't add all of them, but I think some here and there really does look so pretty, and I love that I did this. Just like I did with the first project, I'm just going to add some blocks to the back. I'm just going to stack them and hot glue them together. This is going to allow it for it to stand upright. And I gotta say, it's one of my favorites. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I made me a craft with my initial. I love the way it looks, but what do you think? Let me know down in the comments. I have another video here for you with tons more of Dollar Tree DIY crafts inspiration. Check it out. I'll see you later and have a blessed day. Bye.